So, if I ask you right now what is the greatest fight in all of Naruto, you'd probably say Naruto vs Pain, or Sasuke vs Itachi, or Madara vs Shirama. But while those fights are great, in my opinion, the greatest fight in all of Naruto is the Final Valley fight where Naruto faces off against Sasuke near the end of Naruto Shippuden. But why is that the case? Is it because of the great animation? Sure, that helps. Is it because of the fight choreography? Sure, that also helps too. But lots of other fights in Naruto has that too, and arguably better. But what makes this fight in particular great is because we get to see the resolution of these two characters that we have been following for more than a decade now. In this fight, we get to see their ways of bringing and maintaining peace to the world, one through the darkness and hate, and the other through understanding one another. Which leads us to my first reason on why this fight is so great, which is clash of ideology. Now, in this fight, we get to see the conclusion or what they have decided is best for the world based on their individual experience, and the only one standing in their way is each other. But what are their ideology? Well, let's start with Sasuke's. Now, Sasuke believes that the world cannot be united simply through understanding each other, because he believes that true and long-lasting peace can only come true through a unified hatred, or simply put, a common enemy. A good example of this is the Shinobi Alliance. While it is true that for the first time ever, the foreign villages are working and cooperating together, that only happened because they had a common enemy that if they don't work together, then none of them will stand a chance. That enemy being Madara's army of Zetsus. But it's not only because of that. Sasuke is an avenger. All he does is avenge. For all his life he was trying to avenge his clan and kill Itachi. But when the truth was revealed to him that Itachi was actually never the bloodlusted, cold-treated that he thought he was, and was actually Konoha who ordered Itachi to slaughter his clan, Sasuke sets out to kill Danzo, the mastermind behind the Uchiha massacre. And after he did that, he chose to follow in Itachi's footsteps, which is unifying the world through the shadows and taking all the world's hatred to himself. And that is for Sasuke's answer to solving world peace. How about Naruto's, our main protagonist? Well, his beliefs are total opposites of Sasuke's. Like I said before, all the hidden villages are united now, and Naruto believes that through understanding and sharing our pain with each other, the world can finally know peace. And Naruto will be that exact example, because his name Naruto is given to him by his parents in hopes that he will be like the Naruto in Jiraiya's book. And not only that, it's also because of respect for his late sensei, because with Jiraiya gone, there won't be any sequel to the book, and so he decides to make his life the sequel to said book. And so now you know these two reasonings on why they fight each other. It's about them trying to disprove each other's ways of bringing peace, Sasuke through killing Naruto, and Naruto through saving Sasuke. Which brings me to my second point, which is the buildup. So this fight already happened once before in this exact same location, though Naruto and Sasuke were two very different people back then. Sasuke being consumed with anger and vengeance all the time, while Naruto goes from an immature child to a mature man-child. That's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, back then they weren't fighting for world peace like they are now. Back then they were fighting for more personal reasons. Sasuke trying to abandon the village and get power from Orochimaru so they can kill Itachi and avenge the Uchiha clan, while Naruto trying to prevent it because he doesn't want his brother, his best friend, to just throw his life away so easily. And this first fight would serve as a good tease for the inevitable rematch between these two characters, because in this fight their skill and power are both equal. But then when they meet again after the time skip in Orochimaru's space, Sasuke just outclassed Naruto in every single way possible. And it creates this tension and build up for the audience, because the audience, after seeing the immense power gap between Naruto and Sasuke, would begin questioning on how Naruto is gonna catch on. And of course, Naruto being the main protagonist catches on to Sasuke, slowly but surely. Especially during the Pain arc when both their power levels seems equal, I think. But still, we don't get the rematch until later down the series after the war arc, and by the time they're actually about to have their rematch, the audience's expectations are through the roof. Especially because during the war arc, they got lots and lots of power boost, like Sasuke getting his complete Susanoo, Naruto getting KCM2, or when the Sage gave both of them 6-path chakra, which then makes Sasuke get a Rinnegan, and Naruto get this black ball thing. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say here is that Kishimoto did a great job at creating the build-up for the rematch between Naruto and Sasuke, because he would always tease it. Like in the beginning of Naruto Shippuden, when Sasuke just completely outclassed Naruto, and then when Sasuke was about to fight Itachi, one of Naruto's clone found him but just gets stopped immediately. And then after Sasuke attacked the 5 Kage summit, we get a brief altercation between them, but Obito came in and pulled Sasuke out of there. And with each every moment the show teases of the rematch, we as the audience can't help but set our expectations higher and higher. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Fights Rising Buildup. Now, the Fight's Rising Buildup is different from the build-up to the fight. While the build-up to the fight occurs before the fight, spanning over lots and lots of episodes, the build-up that I'm talking about now occurs in the fight. And to elaborate on that, when Sasuke and Naruto started their fight, it was only taijutsus, but the audience knows that they have so much more in their arsenal. It's only a matter of time before they use it. And so as the fight goes on and more of their abilities gets used, the audience gets a sense of satisfaction from it. Sort of like when you get an achievement after completing a challenge in the game. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about the most obvious reason on why this fight is so great, which is choreography. The fight choreography is the most obvious reason to why anyone will like any fight in a series or movies. Even if you don't like the movie, if a fight scene is well choreographed, then you would find it entertaining either way. A great example of this is the Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. This movie is highly controversial. Some people say that it's just ahead of the curve, and some say it's the worst comic book movie of all time. But if you ask both groups about the warehouse scene where Batman's trying to save Superman's mom, they probably would agree that it is a great fight scene. Now, with that being said, is the fight scene between Naruto and Sasuke in the Valley the best choreographed fight scene in all of Naruto? Probably not. The Naruto and Sasuke vs Momoshiki fight in Boruto arguably has better choreography than this fight. But what makes the Naruto vs Sasuke fight more engaging is because it has something that the Momoshiki fight lacks. And no, it's not more jutsus or which one has better art styles, it is emotion. In this fight, it is filled with intense emotions. That's why throughout this fight, it is stacked with lots of flashbacks. And even though in the flashbacks, Naruto and Sasuke didn't say a word to each other, through the imagery, we could clearly see what they are thinking. With Kid Naruto walking on the higher ground and Kid Sasuke sitting and facing against the lake, Kid Naruto looks at Kid Sasuke trying to understand why he is alone, like him. But as Kid Sasuke notices this, both of them looks away and heads their separate way. Basically, it implies that when they were kids, they tried to understand with one another, but failed. And now also another thing I love in this fight is when Naruto and Sasuke charges up their Rasengan and Chidori as they charge against each other. In this scene, we get to see the people who supports them, Naruto having pretty much everyone, and Sasuke having no one except his big brother. It symbolizes how Naruto, a kid who was resented by everyone, through sheer will and determination, managed to create bonds with everyone. And also Sasuke, the kid who wants to cut off all bonds, manages to do that successfully, except ironically for the bond that he has with Itachi. This fight is a great example of what most of Naruto fights are. Characters who both have stories of their own, through the sheer genius of Kishimoto himself, managed to intertwine their stories in a natural and entertaining way. And it is on full display with this fight. And also what makes this fight so great is because it manages to combine great action and choreography with great character writing. We understand why they fight each other, unlike the Momoshiki fight where it is full of great action but lack the emotions that this fight has. What do you think, Chef? Now, it's not a critique of the ending of the fight, but I feel like it would have been better if Sasuke dies at the end of the fight, and here's a couple of reasons why. The first one is narrative closure. Sasuke's death could have provided a sense of closure to his character arc. Throughout the series, he struggles with darkness and vengeance, and his death could have been seen as the ultimate consequence of his choice. The second one is redemption through sacrifice. Sasuke's death could have been seen as a way for him to redeem himself for his past actions. By sacrificing himself to save Naruto or the village, he could have shown genuine remorse and a desire to atone for his sins. Instead of him just leaving the village again for 2 years, comes back and takes Sakura with him and came back with a +1 on the Uchiha clan member. The third and final one is symbolism. Sasuke's death could have symbolized the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. His demise could have marked the conclusion of the cycle of hatred and violence that has plagued the ninja world for generations. Now, with that being said, it is important to note that Naruto is ultimately the creation of his author, Masashi Kishimoto, and he chose to resolve Sasuke's storyline in a different way. The decision to spare Sasuke's life and explore themes of redemption and forgiveness is integral to the narrative that Kishimoto wanted to tell. Ultimately, whether or not Sasuke should have died is subjective and depends on individual interpretation and preferences. But that's about it for the video, and as always, thanks for watching, and see ya.